roughly what you want to try and make before you start pinching. If you want to go for something big like that, you could probably use most, if not all, of your clay at once. If you want to go for something kind of small and cute like this, just rip off some kind of chunk like that. You want to start it in a ball. I like to smack my clay into a ball. If you want to roll it, do whatever. Just try to get it into a fairly nice ball if you can. If it has any weird big lumps, bumps, anything like that, you'll have more clay on one side than the other, and it can be a little bit tricky to keep it even as you go up. Just a minute, all this around, snap it, turn it. No, just shaking it up a bit. I wedged this up, so there shouldn't be any air in it. A bunch of different ways you can start your pinch pot. I like to just start it on the table, because that gives me a nice basis to kind of go on. You want to keep your pinches nice and even going all the way around, that kind of stuff. I like to just start with my pointer finger right in the middle, push straight down to about the middle of the knuckle there. That makes sure that there's enough room on the bottom that I'm not accidentally poking all the way through, and it's not too thick on the bottom where I have to pull a ton of clay up. The first kind of initial pinches you want to do will be at the bottom. That's why I like to just keep it on the table. I will hold it so it's easier to see, right? You want to keep nice and level with the table if you're doing that. Gentle pinch, turn it slightly, overlap that pinch, turn it slightly, overlap that pinch, overlap that pinch. And then you get kind of quicker with it.
Exactly.
It's getting taller, it's getting wider, it's getting open. Just make sure that you're doing even pressure and even turns. Each little pinch. Right. All the way around. You can swap fingers. You can put your thumb on the inside if you want to and use a bunch of fingers on the outside, whatever's more comfortable. 2 fingers going a bunch, you'll start to wear out the thumb. Swap it out. Just keep in mind, try and keep your thumb towards the bottom, all the way around a few times. And then we'll move up ever so slightly to get that bulbous section. Pinch, 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 pinch. Eventually, gradually, you'll get more open, taller, skinnier. Kind of see some of the pinch pot examples, like she was able to get really, really thin with that. You can get pretty thin with your pinch pots. They get pretty big, they get nice and light. She probably used a tiny piece of clay for that, right? Something like that gets up quite large, right? So if I just keep pinching this nice and even. And we can use the turntables too. If we want to do something like this, you don't have to keep lifting it up, turning it. Speed it up a little bit. And you can, if you want, leave your finger marks on the outside. They leave, again, very nice little markings. They kind of make the blades move around a little bit over your finger marks, over the pivots. There's a bunch of pinch pots everywhere, so you guys need to take a look, take a look. Use this guy like this. Donut to stick on top of them, just because sometimes it's hard to make it tall without making it wide. So if you're starting to like the shape you're on, you just want it a little bit taller, we can make one of these little donuts like this guy. So it starts with the exact same, all nice and even. Just flatten it out a little bit on the other side. And then instead of stopping, just go all the way through to the table. Spin, wiggle. You're making yourself pull. Stick your finger all the way through there. This is where we're pinching. Same exact thing, it's like that. Just making a little donut. Same time, pinches. super bumpy on the top, like that's pretty flat, you can probably get away with that. If it's super bumpy, you drop it on the table a couple times. Makes it easier to stick those two halves together. Down. And same deal with anything else you want to stick together. Scratch and slip. So grab a toothbrush. Finger works great, or one of these wooden sculpting tools works great as well. Pull some clay over that seam. And on the inside, you can feel the seam on the inside as well. We'll need to fill that in too. Pull a little bit of clay. Over that seam. Pretty. Over the sponge. Spare doing the inside seam there for now. Fix that there. Everyone's favorite part of pinch pots. You get to paddle the heck out of it if you want to. Clean your paddle off. It puts like really gross gouges and scratches in your clay. I would hate it if you didn't clean off. Had all sorts of gross things. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take all of my finger marks out. I'm gonna get rid of this little seam here. Paddle. My clay's a bit wet in the middle here, so it kind of sticks to the paddle as I smack it. Okay. It's also a good idea sometimes to put your hand on the inside, but I'm going fast, so I'm just spinning it. A little bit. We're just compressing the clay. Getting down a little bit more. And then obviously if they're kind of tiny, like these little cracks, I wouldn't waste my time paddling them. I'll just take my finger to it and gently fill those in with the finger. Pretty much it. straight if you want to. You can have the top down, flip them over, the bottom if you want.
Yeah, doing that long enough, it would be really smooth, wouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And also, I didn't bring any, but you can use the rubber ribs to kind of wipe down the whole thing and get that pretty smooth as well. This is what Anna does to kind of get all her shapes and smoothness. Like if you spent time, it's kind of tricky. You can literally completely reshape this. Like I could make this square if I wanted to.
Oh, I see, so that's where you make the top.
Exactly,
I see,
right?
okay.
So she just spends time at whatever angles,
Yeah.
all the way around.
How would you make it more, like, bigger on the outside?
Like come out more?
Come out like I'm thinking about that thing.
Or more bulbous a little bit?
Yeah.
I would kind of start that more while you're making it,
Oh, I see.
right?
Yeah, okay.
But you definitely can, right? Kind of get it down a little bit.
I see.
Middle widen it a
Yeah,
smidge.
yeah, yeah.
Also kind of stretch it out in the middle on the inside. Just gently repattern it. Also make sure that this guy's nice and centered. Kind of just spin it. Some knives. You want to make sure that this sits flat. I like to find something I can rest on that's a pretty good height for where I want to be cutting. Nope. Okay. So make sure that your piece is more centered. Keep moving your knife back and forth. And I like to just kind of have this here so I can rest my hand, keep my knife at the same level, and then just score a line nice and carefully around the whole thing. Score it a few times. You don't really have to do this. Sometimes it's easier to even the top out if you have a bunch of clay on one side and you don't have on the other. Score a tiny bit each time. So your clay doesn't kind of buckle. Top. A little bit straighter on the top there. Use our sponge. I also have a ton of clay in my walls here, so I'm probably just going to keep pinching this, get it a little bit taller. And I'm going to make another lid like that. The lid, I didn't do a pinch pot, I just cut a circle out of a flat piece of clay slab, and probably something like that.